Medeama was picking all the second balls because they knew that they are sending more balls. That is why they introduced Sidibe and of course Ajimai. These were two strikers very strong in the air. So anytime they get the ball, Fatau, Hamid will send the ball in the box, and that was in two occasions they really scored, and that was where Frederick Asari came in to save Kwanzaa Asante Kotoko. I expect Kotoko to at least go the wide areas, use the ring play, send the balls in, because in the second half, Steve Mukola had the similar opportunity, asked to score the first goal, but he missed from the head. That's from that cross from Emmanuel Kote. So for me, I think that in a way, Kotoko led themselves down in terms of defending, and then for Medeama to put pressure on them. If they had opened up, used the wide areas very well, I think that Medeama would have not put pressure more on Kotoko. But I think that I'll give credit to the Medeama coach because he decided to change the game plan that he was using in the first half. So he realized that he didn't use the midfield again. He decided to use the wing backs and the wingers to be able to frustrate Kotoko, and then they had their penalty.
And a massive improvement from the previous games that Asante Kotoko have played. Yes, it's not 3 points, it's just a point, but for a team that have gone through the rough patches, I'm sure Prosper Natiogum and the Asante Kotoko faithfuls will see this as an improvement on what they've done over the last few weeks.
Samates and Medeama are title contenders. You know, Samates, they have about 70% chance of winning the Ghana Premier League. Medeama want to win the Premier League.
Okay, so I'll come back to you, but we have to go to the Akum Park and listen to the coaches. Course, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. So that was the penalty that the Yellow and Moves won, and the Awisi Taylor converted from the spot to make it 1-1. At least both teams go away with a point. Coach, you've heard from Coach Nebojka Kapo, a bit disappointed that he didn't get all the 3 points. Prosper Natiogum, happy, but he also acknowledged the presence of the fans and say that was an encouragement for the players, seeing the fans travel all the way from Kumasi to Takwa to support them.
Well, I think he spoke well, and he also made mention,
but especially when Kotoko is coming from a poor run of form until last week that they won a 1-0 win against Samates. They need to come back to winning way. So a point in today's game is a good result for Asante Kotoko.
Coach, how much of a boost is this for Kotoko going into the last 6 games of the season? They may not be able to win the Ghana Premier League, but this could do something for them.
Yes, for the league, I think that Samates is already gone with 8 points between Samates and Nations FC to tell you that they are good to go. So for any club to think about the league trophy should be something else. But I think that Kotoko, as you said, can manage and then get probably maybe into the top 4. They could, because looking at the points gap between the teams from the second spot, that is Nations, Adriana coming down to the position of Kotoko today, I think that they can make a case for themselves. Their next game is against Legon Cities at the Babaya Sports Stadium. We have seen Legon Cities play one of the fine games in the league. They've got a young team. They run, they play as Accra Lions. So, and they score goals too. So Kotoko have a lot of work to do. In as much that they're able to beat Samates and also pick the point from Medeama. These are difficult teams, but when it comes to the tricky situations in terms of Park Pacific, Tankus, Accra Lions, that's where Kotoko fumbles a lot. So let's see what happens within the days that they are going to work towards that game.
Medeama themselves have had a topsy-turvy season. I say almost season they make some steps forward and more steps backwards. But season baby, 6 games to go. This game would have a win here could have put them back into the title race, but it seems that has extinguished as well.
In the interclub competition, you know, when you combine it with your domestic league, most of the times it doesn't favor teams from West Africa. You know, traveling arrangements and stuff. So, answer na one game or North Africa, Ember back to West Africa, fatigue setting. So, look at our 2 teams who represented us in the interclub competition, Medeama and Dukes FC. And look at where they find themselves on the league log in the Ghana Premier League. It tells you fatigue are setting in, traveling, coming back, playing midweek and playing weekend. If you don't have a large squad numbers, you struggle in the Premier League. That is one of the things that is really affecting Medeama. They don't have a bad team, but I think those are the possible things really affecting them. They've lost. They have top scorer and one of the best players in the second round of last season, Jonathan Showa. So replacing players like this in the team, it takes time for them to gel within the team. So these are the two key things that are affecting Medeama this particular season.
Medeama there gets to the point against Kotoko, but their coach in the Bocha couple not too happy. Remember that the Ghana Premier League on Star Times is brought to you by High Sense, Medeama Full Herbal Clinic, JB Fresh Fruit Juice, and Max by also supporting us. We take a quick break. When we return, we look at the results from other venues.
Settles it down here. You can see Aitana Bonmati gets space here, but look at the balance to shift it. Does a little scissor move. I love this type of balance that she has. And you can see as soon as they scored the goal, it does take a deflection. Emma Byrne made a really good point, and Emma would know all too well about goalkeeping. And I think Hannah Hampton does go down too early. The deflection almost makes the ball speed up. Usually it slows it down, but I do think, had it not have taken that deflection, I think Hannah Hampton would have saved it, but taking nothing away. Bonmati, the way she shifts the ball and gets into those positions, and we saw, as soon as they scored, they kind of celebrated, but they were like, business. We need to get back there. And I think Chelsea, the first 10 minutes were very shaky. Yes. They looked nervous, and these things happen. It's in semi-final of the Champions League, but I think Barcelona just look like they're in like career mode on a computer game. You know, they're just so good to watch, Semra. I mean, I love Chelsea. I've spent, 2 years almost at this club, but Barcelona, the quality that they had throughout this team, they're getting the ball. Lucy Bronze, I think, has been excellent down this right-hand side. And I think Maya Ramirez not playing, not available, I think that's been a massive loss. Katrina Macario had some opportunities but not really been in the game, but that's because Chelsea just haven't had the possession of the ball. Barcelona have been in cruise control for me, and I think there's been opportunities down the left-hand side where they could have switched the play. They did it and were playing too reserved, and they've had their chances though, Chelsea.
But you mentioned the word wasteful before, and I think these are perfect examples of just how wasteful they have been in the final third.
Yeah, I think that's a really good save though from Kotoko. I think, Macario catches this really well. Kotoko does the world to get that. I think actually Lawrence has done a good job down the left-hand side. This is a really poor giveaway, but this is the moment from Erin Cuthbert. But I think that moment where Leopold gets down that end line, down the left-hand side, expecting just to cut back and for the net to ripple. So Chelsea, I think Barcelona just overtook the game in the first half. The last 10 minutes of the half, Chelsea were kind of coming back in it. Emma made a good point about Canary getting down the right-hand side, but again, I think she's been wasteful. I think she's getting in opportunities. Kotoko is just picking it up, bread and butter for her. So I think it's not panic mode for Chelsea, but I think Barcelona have been the far superior. I did say before the game that Barcelona might fear Chelsea because they have tactical masterclass last week. But I think right now, Barcelona just look like the far superior.
So panic mode versus career mode as it stands after that opening period. We'll see if things change, of course, going into the second half. But we do have Samantha Miller with us, who's our reporter for the Visa Fan Zone. We can cross over to her and get a little bit of an update as to how fans are perhaps thinking and feeling now with only 45 minutes left to go, 1-1 on aggregate. Sam, what's the latest?
Well, I'm enjoying myself pitchside here at Stamford Bridge in the rain, but I know back at home you're all having fun getting involved with the
It is the only league that matters. That is the Ghana Premier League, which is brought to you by High Sense, Medeama Full Herbal Clinic, and of course, JB Fresh Juice. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Just before we went for that break, we were discussing the aftermath of that game between Medeama and, of course, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And I told you about the other games that were played, the other venues. We'll look at all the results. There's something brewing in at the Nana Century, where Samatex look like they are edging closer to winning their first ever Ghana Premier League title, because the team that is giving them a hot chase, that is Nations FC, could not win their game. So these are the results from the other venues. We started the Ghana Premier League match day 28 yesterday, where Legan Cities had the 3-2 victory over Brecum Chelsea. You know about that. Adriana have lost at home. Other than that, Ajima Bedu Park. I didn't run about their home invisibility. Karela have beaten them by 2-1. Bechem United drawing 1-1 with Heart of Lions, and Medeama being held by Asante Kotoko 1-1 as well. Nations FC failing to win their game at home, and it was against BBN Gold Stars. That game ended goalless, with Samatex getting a very, very important 1-0 victory over Grade Olympics. Tomorrow we'll see in Swatman take on Bofo Akwatano, and Heart of Folk will be playing Accra Lions on Wednesday. Coach, big result for Samatex.
Surprise result is that Karela Adriana at Nana Ajima Bedu Park. Obviously, it was a surprise because Adriana was lead Final result. Nation failed to win. You know, Nation's first away win was against Gold Stars. That was where they began to fight for a place in the top 4. And then Gold Stars coming into this game thought that Nation came to embarrass them. So of course, the goal even came earlier, as early as the 7th minute, and then Gold Stars couldn't equalize or win that game. So for them to come to Chase Sports Complex to pick a point, I think it is good. Heart of Lions took the lead against Bechem United.
Yeah.
Bechem had a record, but Bechem fought back, and then they got the equalizer. It's been fair. Kotoko, Medeama, we just witnessed it. Samate's had his goal, I think, in the 82nd minute against Accra Great.
It could be the most important goal in their season.
Of course, I said it last week when I was here, that their destiny lies
in their palms.
Of course. Somebody like
oh, say Biana may be a feeling in some.
I'm saying, Sebi will be a jato way, Wadafu, about you man out in Israel. They were in the league when Adriana messed up and then Medeama came over. They are in the lead. It was 5. Now 8 points gap. So if it is 8 points and 6 matches to go, how many matches are they playing at home? 3 matches. They will win this.
Nanedu, I mean, big game, big results for Karela, especially because they are very closer to the relegation zone. To go to the Nanajma Bedu Park and get 3 points against Adriana, that is massive. But Adriana themselves have lost their home.
You know, the best goal so far in the Premier League. So for Karela to go there to pick the maximum 3 points, Karela at that danger zone no more. And Karela, House of Lions, and a team like Bofa Kwatano, they are really in need of points to survive in the Ghana Premier League. So I know Karela can do wonders in the rest of the games in the Premier League. And when you monitor Karela play in the second round and Awaka Damba, they are playing some good football. I watched their game against Asante Kotoko. I watched their game against Great Olympics at Sugarcope Park, and they were playing some good football. They had a good goalkeeper in their pool. So they have a good team. No wonder they went to Doma to pick the maximum 3 points. A team like, Heart of Lions going to Bechem and getting at least a point in that game against Bechem United, a massive point for them. It's difficult for them to survive in the Premier League, but when you start getting points like this in away games in the Ghana Premier League, our confidence go high when we are playing home games in the Premier League. Maybe any Gold Stars, one of the informed team in the second round, they are playing some good football. They came to
under Coach
Frimpong Manson. They are playing some good football. So for them to go to Nations and pick a point in that particular game, I'm not really surprised. Nations, the last 2 home games, when it tells you goal scoring, if we have some goal scoring, that is why some of these teams are going there to pick the maximum, to pick at least a point from the Dr. Hamilton Sports Complex. Timber economy forces, they will put a lot of pressure on Samate's 2 points or 3 points best separation so that we see how the league will go. It looks like Nations are holding it so maybe they will need some experience in the Premier League. But the first season here, even Samate's almost second season here in the Premier League. So it looks like.
But it seems Kassim Mengo has done a good job with Nations.
He has done a great job.
Because, trust me, my expectation Nations would even be in the top 4 at this point in the season.
Yes, and to get the best out of these players, especially when or bad team, they have already some good players from the Division 1. But are there 1 or 2 quality players or tasty Premier League? When you look at their team, they have players who are more Premier League and they have some few players who are more experienced in the Premier League already. Prince Aka and Razak Capson, arguably the best centre back in the Premier League so far, and some of these few players in the Premier League. So, and no guide you more to do well in the Premier League. That is why at home. As it stands now, no be to me question more Dr. Kwame Sports Complex.
Because you can be fingerprints at that team, so clearly you can see Kassim Mengo with what he had done with Bechem United. People were doubting that he would replicate that at Nations, but clearly, even with players who are not known as compared to what he had at Bechem United.
Yeah, of course. I think he's done very well. Coming in to take it, on your opportunity, the Bakumi and be area more. When you clearly see Nations playing. Yes, coach in the So for me, I think that he's done very well. Probably going into his second season in the league. I'm talking about Nations FC. Probably they may do 1 or 2 purchases to be able to augment their squad. But let's give congratulations to Samate's. For me, it will be difficult for any club to overtake them.
It will be difficult for anyone to usurp them at the moment.
Very difficult for any team to overtake Samatex.
8 points, about 3 home games before the end of the season.
Difficult for any of the teams to overtake Samatex.
So Samatex are actually leading the table at the moment, and that is good for them. The Inseche Park has become a fortress. Nuruddin Amadou Wayejuma.
Nuruddin Amadou is a good coach. It was a project I initially prospered at Ogun, Nankwa front line.
Yeah.
He was close to signing for them until he got that call from Opemiso. He came back to Kumasi. So some of these players, even at Samatex, were recommended by Prosper Ogun. And Amadou Nuruddin Soba later on, he has done a great job on these players. So we can see some connection between Aqua, the main center defender, and of course Dauda Seidu to Emmanuel Kayeke to Baba Hamadou Musa. There is that connection that is helping them in winning games. So when you monitor their game against Asante Kotoko, once Enoch Morris and Andres Intimedo worked on Kayeke and Dauda, Ama Omu football into main flow that match. That is one of the reasons why I bought Kotoko to pick the maximum 3 points against them. So they have a good team. I'm not really surprised they are on top of the Premier League. They will win it. As to how Oma prepared themselves for African one, that is where the question mark is. But they have a good team.
So that is the Premier League table before you. After 28 matches, the likes of Inswaterman will be playing on Monday. But Samatex have taken the lead and have now firmly cemented their position with 52 points. Nations FC are second on the table with 45 points. So 7 points difference between both teams. Adriana are third with 42 points. In Swaterman, they lie fourth with 41 points. They will be playing on Monday. Brekum Chelsea, Samuel Boadu is doing a good job there. They are fifth on the table with 41 points. Bichim United are set with 40 points. They would also be playing their game later. Medeama are seventh with 40 points. Accra Lions also have 40 points, and they will be playing on Wednesday against Accra Hearts of Folk. Baby Any Gold Stars, after today's draw, are ninth on the table with 39 points. Coach, what's your table this one? I mean, a team like Brekum Chelsea, when Samuel Boadu went there, I doubted he could do the job there. But the oil of Brekum Chelsea, I mean, he's building something special.
Yeah, he's doing well, but he's yet to win a game away from Brekum.
Yeah.
He's just to win a game away from Brekum.
I mean, wins in about Brekum.
Yes, he wins in we're winning. I think three wins in Brekum. The rest of the, apart from picking a point from Inswaterman, he's lost the rest of the. He lost to Samatex, he lost to Nations, he lost to Lagos Cities. So I mean, he needs to work. Of course, he went in the second round of the league. So obviously, you give him the benefit of the doubt. But so far, I think he's done a very good job.
And also, Baby Any Gold Stars, for a team that were closer to the relegation zone before the start of the second round, there's been a massive lift from the bottom half of the table to the other half.
St. Manson has put some kind of discipline in the team. There are names that are notable in our lips, but
they are not getting playing time.
You can't hear them or you don't see them anymore. The likes of Frank Amankwai is doing very well in the team. Eric Bosuntwe is playing. Emmanuel Adai is playing. Alex Asso is playing. Prince Kwabino Usu is playing. So you could clearly see that he has changed the mindset. Roland Frimpong, he has changed the mindset of the people, the teams, Baby Any Gold Stars. And for him, if he really wants to play, you need to work. And I will not be surprised most of the players will be sent away at the end of the season.
Now, Nanedu, with 6 matches to end the season, are you surprised? I'm talking about the first half of the table, the top half. Are you surprised to see any team in there? Accra Lions, Bichim United, Brekum Chelsea, Swaterman, in this position?
You know, Mutala, when we look at team out top third on the league log, any team out top ninth on the league log, it's just 3 points.
Wow.
So one win could take you to where, you know, where Adriana find themselves, because 3 points depend on the separate or more.
It might be any good stars. If Accra Lions should win their game, if Inswaterman should win their game, the third position of Adriana will not be there.
So Accra Lions and Inswaterman is also playing home.
They're playing Bofakwa on Monday. So if they should win that game, they move straight to
44 points.
And they leapfrog Adriana.
Absolutely.
And then probably if, let's put it, if Accra Lions should beat Hearts of Folk, they move to 43. Then Adriana will be at 5th position.
So that is how the league is.
3 points. 3 points to quickly change.
Just 3 points between the third on the league log. In fact, look at the second half.
Okay, so let's look at the second half of the table, where we have the likes of Asante Kotoko and Hartlepool. If 3 points can also change the fortunes of these two teams. So Hartlepool have 35 points. 3 points will mean that they go on points, the same points with Legon Cities, that is 13. So they could move to 10th on the table should they get 3 points in their next game.
Yeah. Of course. And if the next, that is week 29, if Kotoko should win, and the team with 40 points do not win, Kotoko will move either to the 8th or the 7th position on the league.
So it's all about the 3 points.
Of course. And then now look at the position of Karela United. After winning today's game, they found themselves 13. And now Bafakwa is in it. If Bafakwa should win before they can probably match the same point, Olympics will be dropping. It tells you something. Yeah. So if Dreams FC should win this outstanding matches, Olympics will be getting into the relegation.
I now understand why Dreams FC are not really perturbed about the position of their position at the moment, because they have about 4 outstanding matches and they have 31 points. Should they win even 2 of the outstanding matches, it means they move way away from there.
That is why with the relegation zone, one away win is very important. I'm sure a team like House of Lions will be disappointed not to get the maximum 3 points today. Sure. Leading by 1 vote, red card. Because imagine says 2 points now become 20.
Come relegation zone.
They have 3 home games to play.
But it's difficult. 6 matches to go.
A lot can change.
But at least if you want to survive, you will need that crucial away win.
No, as a coach, Phil said, for the top, nothing may change with Samatex winning the league. But as a holiday, you think a lot can change with the 6 matches.
RTU
are gone. Okay.
Because they have a game against Samatex. How do you have a game against Samatex?
But time of my boss is very important.
That's what I'm telling you. Samatex, the league, they may sort of call. But how do you, and the Heart of Lions are trying to make.
I think their next game is against Samatex.
Good. How do you, Accra Lions is trying to make their home a fortress. And at the end of the day, to win at Pandu, when they went there, they've only drawn 1 against Gold Stars. So for them to go to Bechem to pick a point, obviously all their arsenals and everything that we do will be their next game at home, I think against Samatex at Pandu. And that match is going to be a tough one. For Karela United, he's also going to Nalerigu to play. And they are yet to lose a game at that venue. And that should tell you that Abukari Damba has done a great job after taking over from Shaibu Tango. He's done a very good job. So for me, I think that the second half of the table, we need to look at it again. But
so let's have the table again, because I am looking at Great Olympics. I mean, they've flirted with relegation for some time now. They started the league not too great, but currently they are 14th with 33 points. And they do almost call him Manoma Santiago.
The most important win this particular weekend is the Karela away win. It could be the reason why Bofu could join the team who are going to relegation. That away win for Karela is crucial.
And it takes them to 34 points.
Their next game, they are playing home.
And I won't be surprised Nairobi Sports Complex will be full to its capacity.
That is why that away win against Ediana is very important at the Karela. That away win against Ediana Stars.
That is why I'm calling on the FA. The security apparatus should be able to get everything right in Iswatre. The game against Bafakwa. The first one, Maswok Nodu was beaten. Frimpong Manson ran away from the stadium. That was the game against Bafakwa.
Was it not the game that saw Bofo being banned from playing against United?
Good. But the gentleman who knocked Maswok Nodu with blog or whatever, he was bailed. He had a bail from the police. We've not heard anything from that issues. And the fans of Inswatra are also threatening that if Bafakwa should come and win that game, it is alleged that if they should come and win that game, they are going to beat them.
So the FA would have to beef up security at the Tsunami Coronation Park for that game, because it is more or less a regional derby.
And if Bofu should win that if Bofu should lose that game,
relegation. So that is what is happening with the Ghana Premier League. The points build up with the league is shaping up nicely. We are beginning to separate the boys from the men, but the Ghana Premier League is full of surprises. And Obetimi, our Sorecha, no Wawo, a safe hobby. So these are the next 5 games that Asante Kotoko will be playing. They will be taking on Legon Cities at home. Then they travel to face Brecum Chelsea at the Golden City Park. Before they play Heart of Folk at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Great Olympics will follow suit. Then Real Tamale United. So Kotoko have 3 home games in their next 5 games that they have to play in the Ghana Premier League.
They can get at least 13 out of the possible 15.
1-1 on the show.
They have to pick the win against Legon Cities.
Okay.
Away draw against Brecum Chelsea. Home win against House of Folk. Home win against Olympics. Away win against RTU.
Away win against RTU. So they can pick 13 out of the 15.
They can pick 13 points. The only game I'm supposed to say difficult grounds for them will be the game against Brecum Chelsea.
Coach, I mean, looking at their fixtures, which ones do you think need to put everything together?
All the games. I'm saying that because it depends on your confidence that takes you into the game. Their last 2 games against Samantes, I'm sure about 80% of the people give them no chance. They won. Against Medeama, people wanted to see whether Kotoko really won the game against Samantes. They pick a point from that game. For Kotoko should beat Legon Cities will motivate them to go to Brecum.
Yeah.
If Kotoko should lose against Legon Cities at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, will demotivate them to go to Brecum. The Brecum game is 50-50. Samuel Bodu's factor, Stephen Mankunan factor. But I'm also looking at where the pitch will be good for us to have a very good football. Kotoko have got a good young team. And then Brecum Chelsea, Samuel Bodu is doing wonderfully well, especially in the second half of his games. Accra House of Folk is 50-50. Anything can happen. Accra Great Olympics, by the time they play Kotoko, I'm sure they should be able to know where they lie. Because losing the game in Samates today put them at 33. They are coming to play a game at home. Look at the Olympic setup. Benjamin Asare, Christopher Nete, Ashikwe, Oko Gripman, Ebenezer Sechere, Razak Kasim, Emmanuel Entry. They have the likes of Michael Osei, Glasner Waku played today. They have the likes of Yusuf Razak. They have
and they would actually be playing Medeama in their next game.
That is in Accra. So it's a difficult area for Accra Great Olympics before they play the Kumasi Asante Kotoko game. So for me, and by the time they play RTU at home, RTU will get to know their position. Whether what Kucheben is saying that they are gone or they are not. Because RTU will be playing, their game against Dreams FC has been postponed. So they will come and play Accra Great Olympics. So for me, it is a difficult area that I think that Kotoko needs to pick it match after match. If they should go ahead and then probably think about all the 15 points it's going to be difficult. They should pick it match after match.
So for Medeama, they will be playing Great Olympics away from home. Then they take on Real Tamale United at the Yakun Park before they travel to Sunyani to face for Kwatano. Heart of Lions will be a home game for Medeama, and then they take on Bibiani Gold Stars at the Dance Park.
Their best will be 7 points out of these 15 points. I don't think they will win against Olympics. They are losing that game. They will win against RTU in Takwa. A draw against Kwatano. A win against House of Lions. They will lose against Baby and the Gold Stars.
At the Dance Park. Okay, so that is for
I would love to watch the game between Medeama and Heart of Lions.
Medeama, Heart of Lions?
Yes, at the Akun Park. I would love to watch. By then, Heart of Lions will get to know whether they are staying in the league or they are going to relegation. Bashir Hayford, a former coach of Medeama, and somebody who has stayed in Ghana football for long, at this position, will he take Lions to relegation or go by his word? He's the rescuer. I'm here to rescue Heart of Lions. It's one particular game that I would love to watch.
But by that moment, Medeama can't win the Premier League.
No, Medeama cannot win the league.
Then I will not be surprised.
Today,
one of the away games, Heart of Lions can pick the maximum to the points. Will be
well, let's go through the results once again before we check out of the studios here. It has been an interesting day with a lot of games being played at the various venues. So we started on Friday where Legon Cities had a 3-2 victory over Brecum Chelsea. Adriana losing at home to Karela by 2-1. Bichim United drawing 1-1 with the Heart of Lions, and Kotoko also picking a point against Medeama. Nations drew goalless with Bibiani Gold Stars. Samatex extending their lead at the top with a 1-0 victory over Great Olympics. On Monday, it is in Swaterman against Bofuakwa Tano, which will be live on Star Times as well. Then we have Hartlepool also taking on Accra Lions on Wednesday. That is May 1st. So that is a big game that we are looking forward to. Tomorrow, we will be back, but it wouldn't be the Ghana Premier League. It will be the CAF Confederation Cup, where Dreams FC will be coming up against Zamalek there. Let's go through the table again. So Samatex are leading the log with 52 points. Nations FC are second with 45 points. Adriana have 42 points and are third on the table. In Swaterman have 41 points. Bekum Chelsea also have a 41 points. Then the Club 40 sees Bechim United on 6th, Medeama on 7th, and Accra Lions on 8th. Baby and Gold Stars are 9th with 39 points. That is the top half of the table. Let's look at the other half of the table, where Legon Cities occupy 10th with 38 points. Asante Kotoko, they've gained a point more and have 37, but they are 11. Then Hartlepool will be playing on Wednesday against Accra Lions at 12 with 35 points. Karela, that is a massive win for them because it has lifted them to 13th on the table with 34 points. Great Olympics have sunk to 14th with 33 points. Dreams FC, they have games in hand, but they are 15th with 31 points. And the last three teams on the Ghana Premier League table are Bofuakwa Tano, who are 16th with 31 points. Heart of Lions have 29 points and are 17th. Real Tamale United, the Stream Sage Atta, they are rock bottom of the league table, 18th with 25 points. And that brings us to the end of our coverage here on Star Times at the Patch Channel 247. Tomorrow, as I said, we are back, but we are back with the CAF Confederation Cup, where Dreams FC will be coming up against Zamalek in that second leg qualifier of the CAF Confederation Cup. It's a semi-final game, and should Dreams FC win, it means that they are progressing to the finals and they are making history. The game is at 4 p.m. By 3 p.m., we'll be here to do the pre-match analysis here, and you get to watch. So you have to choose Max TV. It will be live on Max TV and also on Star Times at the Patch Channel 247. So do make a date with us tomorrow. Thanks to Coach Ebenezer Sifa, and thanks to Nanedu for always being here, and thanks to you at home for always choosing Star Times. My name is Mutalai Akubu. Till we meet again, it's au revoir. Bye-bye.